The sight of a balloon floating in the air sends a message that you're special. But balloons weren't always so delightful. In earlier days they were made of dried animal bladders, a bit of an unpleasant concept. In the 19th century, someone invented a rubber balloon, and that trial balloon took off. Balloons were first mass-produced in the 1930s, and after that, the sky was the limit. To make balloons, dye is poured into a tank of latex. It's filtered through cheesecloth to remove any lumps. Agitators at the bottom of the tank mix it up for 15 hours. This distributes the colour, and it also keeps the latex active so it doesn't congeal. These balloons come in 53 different shades. Nozzles spray hot water onto balloon forms to clean them as they move onto a system of rollers. A fixture then flips and dips the forms into a tank of coagulant that carries an electrochemical charge, which will attract the coloured latex. On this fixture are balloon forms freshly dipped in blue latex, while below, a tank full of latex rises, coating more forms on the underside. Once this job is done, the fixture flips back, moving the balloon forms to an upright position. While below, another tray of balloon forms takes the plunge. The latex dries quickly as a conveyor moves the balloon forms forward towards spiralling brushes. The brushes roll up the bottoms of the balloons, creating lips. The lips will make it possible for people to grip the balloons in order to inflate them. The fixture flips again, and the balloons nosedive into a hot water bath. They soak for up to 16 minutes. This step is critical. It leaches out all the impurities, including a protein that causes latex allergies. The hot bath also triggers vulcanization, or rubberizes the latex. The balloons travel to another station. Here the fixture dips them into a mix of talcum powder and water. This will allow them to be more easily stripped off the form. Now it's time for the forms to shed their latex skins. As the forms pass through this station, air jets inflate the balloons. Rollers at the top grab the balloons as they fill with air and pull them away from the forms. The rollers shoot the balloons upwards and they topple onto a conveyor belt. Next, the balloons are piled into an industrial washing machine and a cleaning solution is added. The machine heats to a steamy 71 degrees Celsius, while the balloons tumble and nozzles spray water onto it. This doesn't just clean the balloons, it completes the vulcanization of the latex. Now it's time to see if they can stand the test of inflation. A machine blows air into a huge heart-shaped balloon, and the heart swells, but doesn't break. It's checked for imperfections like blisters. Now it's time to stretch your imagination by making interesting shapes with the finished product. They were invented in America in 1903, when a non-toxic version was created from the basic wax crayon already used for marking crates and barrels. We take a look at how colour is added to childhood. These crayons are made from a combination of waxes, primarily paraffin, which is ideal because it's inexpensive and easy to melt. It also has what's called a nice rub-off, meaning it leaves enough wax on the paper. The wax is melted to 62 degrees Celsius. Then a secret powder is added to strengthen the crayon and act as a filler, boosting the number of crayons the wax will produce. Various synthetic chemicals are also added. There's one to keep the wax from sticking to the mould, and a fatty acid called stearic acid to improve the rub-off. Now the wax is tinted. In this case, the addition of yellow and red produces orange crayons. This factory can produce 127 different colours. Every ingredient in the crayon is non-toxic. After adding more wax, the mixture is blended for about 45 minutes. Now the wax is pumped into this device, called a rotary machine. It first injects the wax into crayon-shaped moulds. Then, it envelops the moulds in cool water, hardening the wax within 60 seconds. As the moulds continue along the circuit, a blade scrapes off the excess, which gets recycled. Just one rotary machine moulds more than 2,700 crayons per cycle. With several machines operating simultaneously, this factory churns out 30,000 crayons every hour. The machine ejects the crayons, and a conveyor transports them to the labelling machine. One by one, they drop into the grooves of a revolving drum. At the bottom left, glue coats the surface in between the grooves, just before the crayons go in. The machine then slaps a label onto each crayon. A roller presses the label against the adhesive. Then a small arm wraps it around the crayon. This machine labels 8,500 crayons per hour. The crayons exit the labelling machine and land in a box. They're sorted according to colour into the appropriate hoppers of the packing machine. The packaging line is entirely automated. The factory programs the machine to collect a certain number of crayons in specific colours, according to the type of pack in production. Their best sellers are packs of 16 and 24. The packing machine is designed to handle the crayons gently. Occasionally though, a crayon does crack or a label comes loose. When that happens, a sensor automatically stops the machine and a light goes on above the problem hopper. The jam is cleared, then production resumes. Once the count is complete, the crayon line and the box line meet. A pushing device slides each set of crayons into a box. A built-in scale weighs every box. Should one be underweight, the machine automatically blows it off the conveyor belt. Then the missing crayon is added manually, ensuring a full complement of colours for every budding artist.